and it's the Sabbath. And I talked to my grandma about that, and she was like, well, technically, you're kind of right, but I mean, it's your choice. Do you feel bad about it? Because I told her it was alcohol.
Because I swear, I feel like you betrayed a trust you committed.
My grandma said the same thing. She said, it really depends. Like, it's 50-50. Like, some people do it, some people don't. I mean, the whole point is disciplining, but it's not bad to indulge. And I was just so like, of course, she thinks I'm talking about alcohol. So, because I'm not going to tell. Yeah. So, it's, at least I did it on the Sabbath day, which is the day you're supposed to do.
Podcast.
Wait, what? Oh my gosh. Yo. This one can't make them go. You gotta edit this one.
Cut, bleep.
Shit. But can I still do the Britney intro?
Yeah.
It's Britney, bitch. I didn't see the record button. Come on. You know what it is? I wish I could screenshot it for you because it's on my phone. The little square where I'm at, it's covering the section that said record. Because really? I can move it. Yeah. On your phone through the Zoom, you can move your square anywhere in any. Yeah, I put it on my right side because I'm right-handed. So it covered the record.
That is funny.
That is hilarious. But hi guys, what's up?
Welcome to the
We're
pod. Talking
about Britney Spears, the queen. Actually, no, she's the princess of pop music. And we are going to be talking about the Free Britney movement. Free my girl Britney. She ain't do nothing. She just living life. So, of course, starting out the show, for anybody who is listening for the very first time, we are two geeky ladies talking about issues in our lives,
relationship gossip,
and occasional politics, all while geeking and having fun. And normally we go, let's geek. But we're kind of all over the place right now. So yeah, each episode, we pick a different topic. And surrounding that one topic, we talk about how it relates to issues in our lives, how it relates to relationships, just what's going on right now, in our personal lives as hosts. I'm Kat. And of course, we have Yaz. And we're talking about Britney Spears today. So when you think of Britney Spears, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Oops, I
did it again. I played with your heart. Oh, speaking of that, that was a cover.
You know what? That actually broke my heart when I found out. I think I was in high school when I found that out.
You want to know how I found that out?
How?
Have you seen the movie Freaky Friday?
I did.
With Lindsay Lohan?
Oh, yeah.
If you rewatch that movie, they talk about it. That's how I knew.
Really? Wait, that actually passed me then.
Yeah, if you rewatch Freaky Friday, yeah, because she's talking to the dude she likes in the movie, and they played allegedly the original version in the background, and one of them had cracked a joke oh my god, I love this original version, and Lindsay Lohan's character is yeah, I love it too, way better than the Britney one, and then he was just yeah, not a lot of people know it's a cover or something like that, and I was that's a cover?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I actually have a friend that was she was super into Britney. She was all about it, right? And she was the one who ended up telling me. I was like, no, she's original. What do you
mean? I'm not going to front here because we talk about Britney because, I'm a Britney fan. Keyword, I'm not a Britney stan, but I'm a Britney fan. And Yasmin and I, about 2 weeks ago, we sat down and watched the New York Post, documentary, which was Free Britney. And for anybody that still wants to watch it, you have to have Hulu in order to watch it. And don't put Framing Britney when you type it in, or you're not going to find it. You have to put the New York Post Framing Britney, and it's episode 6. And it talks about Britney Spears' conservatorship, meaning that Britney Spears has been in a conservatorship since, I believe, 2008 or 2009 it was.
It's around that, yeah, roughly.
Yeah, because we know about the famous Britney breakdown, the whole incident where she shaved her head and she went through a lot of stuff, and because of all the issues, she had to be on a conservatorship for her own well-being. Now, of course, it's created some controversy. It's had a lot of people voicing out their opinions, like us, for example. So what was one of your opinions of the Framing Britney episode?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I okay. So when if the whole conservatorship started, like
Yeah,
I didn't put much thought into it, and I feel really
me
bad
neither.
saying this. Yeah, because I didn't realize how much, I guess, like stuff that was going on in terms of like her case, when they were saying like all the manipulation that was happening within the court system, and how the, what is it, the conservatorship, excuse me, I can't speak right now, but like the way the agreement was working, and the fact that he was being paid, and then because I get it, like he has to pay to like take care of Britney and stuff like that, but my thing is like, I was more in shock that like she barely, how much did they say she was even getting, like a small salary type thing?
Yeah, before I get into this, I just want to say please follow Solomon Ray's podcast, because we did get some of the stuff that at least I'm going to say on here. Some of these sources came from him directly. So please follow Solomon Ray, and thank you, Solomon Ray, because he's a diehard Britney stan.
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
basically gave us the whole tea. So we all know Britney Spears is worth minimum 300 mil. And of course, at the time that she was at a conservatorship, it was alleged that her net worth was like, at least her personally, it was like it was 3 mil alone. And this was because of all the controversy that was going on. She was losing endorsements. People for a limited time stopped working with her, and of course, we have paparazzis and stuff. She's currently, these are the rules for Britney, allegedly. Britney can't go out. She can't even drive a car without permission from her dad or anything. She can't even get married without it being approved because she's under a conservatorship, and it's because of her, well-being. Britney Spears allegedly is given $1,500 a week in spending money for her own self. And of course, some people could be like, that's a lot of money. But when you're Britney Spears, that's like 50 cents. Because you got to understand, Britney Spears lives in, I would hope I'm correct on that. She lives in around the Hollywood area. And when you're living in an area like that, $1,500 is not going to cut it. So she basically on a budget every other week. So even though she got all the money, she's still living like me. But it's just all the stuff that's going on with her is just terrible. Like, can you imagine, Yasmin, if you can make any decisions in your life without permission from your parents? It's like, yes, you have to get permission from your parents up until you're 18 to 21.
Mm-hmm.
But to live your life as an actual full-blown adult, and you can't do a dang thing without it getting approved.
You know what the weird thing is about that whole situation is because I'm thinking back to the New York Post documentary that they did.
Yeah.
Literally, as in broad terms, when I was listening to all the stuff, right, when it first came out, and even when they talked about it for a second, why are they treating her like she had dementia or something? Like, I get that she had a bit of a mental breakdown and stuff like that, but
Which they claim was, because of postpartum depression.
Yeah,
because she had just had her baby when that was going on.
Right. And I didn't know any of that, like, because that's not something they're ever going to like expose or talk about during the time. And I'm talking about during the time it all happened, because nobody was talking about that during the time it happened. My thing is, like, it's crazy to me, and it's been talked about everywhere. Even the fans talked about it, where it's like, you have her on this like contract, right? That's the way I see it, right? And the thing is, she's functional. She was selling out shows when she was under this conservatorship. So if that was the case, why is she performing and
And
having
then on, and then on top of that, she has a residency in Las Vegas. Apparently, she's the first like pop star to have her own Vegas residency, and it sells out like crazy. She's making so much money doing it alone. Like, you know, we do have some people who will make shady comments, but one of the craziest things about the documentary, which of course, you know, it was upsetting for you, Yasmin, was how they did pull the focus on Justin Timberlake.
Oh, thank you for, yeah, now you're bringing that back out. Yeah.
Yeah, because we got to explain it for people who didn't see the podcast. Justin Timberlake was only in that documentary for at least 5 to 6 minutes. It wasn't that long,
yeah,
but it was long enough for a lot of people, especially Generation Z, to try to cancel Justin Timberlake. And for some reason, you remember that they were yelling at us like we did something. I said, how y'all gonna get mad at me for shit that happened when I was literally in 10th grade? I'm gonna do. Like, I'm just saying.
Not only that, like we didn't even know, we didn't have the concept of understanding what was even going on, because we were talking about this years later when you look back at the footage and all the pettiness that happened at the aftermath. Here's my thing. He said his 2 cents, his apology, and I said this to you, Kat.
Me, I just like, you remember I told you I thought it was BS.
Right, but I remember I told you after our conversation, I was like, the only people who will ever accept that apology is either Janet or Britney. If they both accepted it, y'all need to move on. Like, and as Janet, much as some people are going to hate what I just said right now, the thing is, it's not between the fans, JT, Britney, and Janet. It's between them. You know what I mean? And I understand. I don't want to talk about Janet because Janet had nothing to do. Yeah, it had nothing to do with the documentary. But like you said, people pull focus on what Free Britney was actually about.
The thing about it is, even though she had nothing to do with that documentary, she wasn't even in it one bit. Nobody even mentioned her name. It's guilty by association because, you know, everyone's already jumping the bandwagon on Justin Timberlake, and people are just like, oh yeah, we have all this evidence that you treated Britney like shit. But let's bring up, you know, Janet Jackson. Okay. You did the same shit that you did to Britney. You did the same thing to Janet Jackson subliminally. Now, however, the difference is that, you know, Britney was his ex-girlfriend. Janet was a friend. To be honest, Janet's more relevant than you any other day. And you would disrespect a legend like that. Like, you know, they've shown clips over the years where he's joked about, you know, the nipple slip with Janet. When the whole thing happened with Janet, he threw her under the bus. He never one time came to her defense, but he had no hesitation going on these shows, joking about it. You remember the clip of him when they said, now that you broke up with Britney, did you take her virginity? And he was like, yeah, I took her virginity. And like you had said, you were like, it's like a football player breaking up with the cheerleading captain.
Yeah. In shorter terms, I just described JT as that jock that literally destroyed a girl's reputation.
Because he's mad. Men ain't shit. Even when they play football. And I'm just joking. I feel like this is going to be like a segment thing.
We're not hating.
We don't hate men. I just joke when I say that, but I just find it funny every time it comes up.
remember how, like, this is a little bit off topic, but do you remember how, like, a while back I was telling you about The Legend of Zelda, and I had like a conspiracy theory that Link was like a hoe in the video game?
And I said, man, ain't shit. Even when they're
how does Link get all these girls to like actually like him, fall in love with him? I was like, he does something. He does something. And then you were like, man, ain't shit even in video games.
Like, legit, even if they're designed as a video game character. I said, that's wild.
Getting back into it.
Yeah.
You know, during the whole Free Britney movement, especially in TikTok, because TikTok had a huge influence with the Free Britney.
Gen Z had time today.
Yeah, but my thing is, a lot of them weren't talking about Free Britney in terms of, not all of them, but most of the ones that kept coming into my For You page they kept talking about all of this with JT. And I was like, JT was in there for like we said, like 2 seconds. Like, could we get back on the focus of who's really more important here? I was just like, first off, the whole situation is that we put people in a specific stature. So for those who was growing up with Britney, and I'm not speaking about the hardcore fans, you know what I mean? I'm talking about those people who literally, because
bought her album.
yeah,
We owned her albums. My aunt bought the first 3 albums.
my thing is, us fans to any group, we have the power to actually put someone at a certain level, right? And sometimes
Yeah.
for some people it gets into their heads. And that's what I was talking about, is that some of the shift blame has to be with the people that was growing up with the situation, that we ignored how everything went, because if we would even talked about mental health back then, I don't think she would be in the situation now. Possibly, I don't know.
I don't think
I'm
she would
probably,
have personally.
because you know, you just never know. But yeah, we are at fault in terms of like, we put people in a specific place. That was my 2 cents after that, because I know like you went on a tangent like, he ain't shit, this and that, and I was just like, but remember, like, we buy the albums, we
Yeah.
try to pay attention. If we want to trash someone, we would trash them. Not me specifically, but like, for example, I remember one time, okay, we're going back a little bit. Do you
Mm-hmm.
remember when the whole situation with Michael Jackson, right? Even
Which
though
one?
Michael Jackson, with
When
the,
he passed?
no. We're talking about, oh, when we were in elementary school or
Yeah.
middle school, and I'll never forget. Do you remember when they showed the dangling, him dangling his child over the balcony?
Oh
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
yes, I
Do you
remember
know what
that.
happened after that? I can tell you what happened after that. The
I
kids
remember.
in school will bully you if you listen to his music. If yes, and at least in my school, if you listen to Michael Jackson, I went to school in DC. If you listen to Michael Jackson, they would call you names, they would call you loser, they would put your ass down. So it's the same situation. There were a few times in my high school when Britney, let's see, it was like Britney, when did that whole like head smash, like, sorry, shaving the head and
2007. You want to know why?
okay, so
And
that's what's
anybody that went, sorry.
all I was gonna say, you could continue after I'm done, but like what I was gonna say is, I remember a lot of people were bashing Britney, and if you were listening to her music, you ain't shit. You're a loser. Oh, you listen to Britney Spears still? That's the vibe that I was getting. So the reason why I referenced Michael Jackson is because it feels like the same thing, that we put people in a certain stature. So if you're going to rise up, JT, what did you guys do? He made those jokes, but if
It was
you think about
encouraged.
it, it was encouraged, exactly. So now it was, oh well, you know, forget Britney. If you listen to her, like, your music sucks. And I know a lot of people will be like, oh, who would ever say that? I'm speaking to those haters. Do you know what I mean? The people who always put someone else down. So it's that, and you always have those, you know. It was a different time back then, though. It was definitely a different time.
Let me tell you how wild it was, because I went to high school in Fort Meade, Maryland, and I believe it was a class of 2007, 2008, but it should have been the class of 2007. And normally you have to vote. The seniors vote, like class president, class clown, all that stuff. They normally, when I went there, they would have like most memorable moment of that year.
Mhm.
The most memorable, the seniors voted Britney's breakdown as the most memorable moment of the year in our yearbook. So if anybody went to my high school, grab out your 2007 or 2008 yearbook, and you should see that up in there. Which I find it incredibly wild. And even though that documentary did pull a lot of people more into the story and what's going on behind the scenes, that they're talking about coming out with a sequel to that, because from the first documentary, apparently there's like a lot of deleted scenes and stuff like that that they didn't put into. So they want to make a new documentary around that with some new filming and some new interviews. Of course, we got to remind people who have not seen the documentary that Her family had nothing to do with it. None of them. They did contact the family members, and the family members that did get in contact with them said, no, I don't want to be a part of this. And some of them didn't even respond. They even contacted Britney. And of course, Britney,
Yeah,
she ain't got time for that.
Yeah,
She's going to court right now. She ain't got time for that.
Well, either way, like, that has to get approved. The father has to approve that interview.
Yeah, it has to get approved.
We won't even know.
This is what we're talking about. It has to get approved.
Yeah, like, we won't even know if she even saw the email. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He could easily.
Did the documentary say that too?
Yes, they talked about it. Like, there's some things Britney would never know because it doesn't get through her.
And, you know, people, I don't know them personally. It's like we're fans, but looking on the outside and then seeing the receipts and evidence, I do believe that her dad is basically milking the situation along with her older brother. And I just find that incredibly insane that they're trying to take her money. Because to me, this looks like that thing where it's like, oh, I'll pull you under my wing, even though that's his daughter. You know, I'm doing this for her well-being. While, you know, she's too sick, she's not right in the head. If I can convince them that she's like this all the time, I can quietly in the shadows take her money and spend it all I want to, because I just find it insane how every single week Britney Spears is getting $1,500 in spending money when she's worth over 300 mil. Like, at this rate, you really can't touch Britney Spears. Britney Spears is the first celebrity to ever come out with her own perfume. And she's dominated that. She sold more of those 3 different versions of her perfume, more than Mariah Carey, Beyonce, and all that combined. Like, let's be 100% real. And she's the first pop star to get her own residency. You really can't touch Britney. There's a reason why she's called the Princess of Pop, but it's just really sad to see her, because every time you see her, she looks sick. Like, she always looks like she's out of it. You ever notice? Yeah. And her hair is just a little bit off. I don't know if it's extensions that she's wearing, but she always looks tired. Like it reminds me of a robot. But she's still been working. She's still been doing interviews. She's still, like, to me, I think she has her mind in the right place. And she's writing everything she's going through her music. If you watch most of her music videos, she's always locked up in a cage. And her friends that have been, you know, and directors, they say that what's with this whole cage thing, she said, because I feel locked up. Like, to even get on social media, it's a problem for her. There are occasional times where they have to approve her tweets and approve her posts. Like, she has no life, Yasmin. Everything in her life has to get approved. Yeah. And I don't understand. Like, I would be going crazy too if I lived like that. You're basically in jail in a way.
Yeah.
It's like a mental health jail. That's what I want to call it. It's like
it's like a house arrest, except for in this case it will be like a little bit different. That's what it is. It's just house arrest.
And that's the reason why when I first heard about the Britney conservatorship, I was like, Britney needs to be like, I don't understand why she wants to get out of it. I said, Britney still looks sick. Britney still looks da-da-da. I think she's been doing great with her family. You know, why take her off of it? Because, you know, at the time they did say that her net worth was $2 million. And in the years, her net worth is now, I think, 400 mil or something like that now, or minimum 300 mil. That's all I know. And the dad claims it's because he's been overseeing her all these years in the conservatorship, whereas you have her former assistant, keyword former assistant, because she was her assistant for years until the conservatorship.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're taking away all the people that matter to her. And then, you know, people want to put this narrative about Britney's family at the same time. I mean, I do believe a little bit of the narrative. I 100% believe that the dad and the brother are gold diggers. Because even in the documentary, they did say that the father never really did shit for Britney's career until she got signed. As soon as she got signed by her record label, that's the time he was the dad that was behind and, you know, would check out my daughter. No, my daughter doesn't do da-da-da without me. I mean, he was in the conservatorship before the conservatorship came. So for him to actually get it, I'm pretty sure this was like the lottery ticket for him.
Yeah, no, it was.
Because Lord knows her man ain't shit.
And talking about the lottery ticket, you know, it's what's crazy that's getting him even the boost of the winning side is that, do you remember how the shadiness behind the courts system? I didn't even know that Britney went out her way to meet with a lawyer, which makes sense because then we got the picture over there in the Beverly Hills hotel, because I remember that picture. And the thing is, they had a whole setup, like she was, trying to, like, I don't know if it, what did they say, fight against the conservatorship or
So, according to, once again, the Solomon Ray podcast and a little bit of the, documentary that we had seen, she originally wanted her own lawyers. The judge that was presiding over the case was actually a friend of her dad's.
See, and
That's of interest. Yeah, and
yeah.
apparently, oh, sorry.
Oh, and then I was gonna say is that after that, like, when the lawyer went into the court to, like, ask for, like, the original, what was it? Either he was gonna share a file, he was gonna grab a file, and they were like, no, you know what? Actually, you're going to have to step down because we want to recommend a lawyer for Britney.
Yeah, because they thought her lawyer was taking advantage of her. So
yeah,
you as a judge, okay, listeners, tell me if this makes sense. So Britney Spears' dad is allegedly friends with the judge. That's already of interest that they kept a secret. So you're over here as the judge talking about, oh, I don't trust the fact that Britney has her lawyer that she wants because that lawyer could take advantage of her. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick lawyers for you for your case, knowing full well that my homeboy is trying to make sure he gets you locked in your conservatorship. Oh, and let's add insult to injury. You're paying for this out of your own pocket. Yes, I'm going to charge you to get these lawyers that you're going to pay for even though you didn't pick them. That's effed up in so many ways. But she did it. She got her new lawyer, miraculously. And, the of interest situation, they switched the judge. And of course, putting it out there, you remember how I told you this had upset me? Mm-hmm. The judge that they got, ironically, she's African-American, she's a female. Apparently, her son is one of the directors for the HBO show Insecure with Issa Rae and, Amanda Seales and a few other people. If you haven't watched that show, please watch it. It's great. Yeah, the director basically got on Twitter and said, yo, my mom's the judge that's presiding over Britney's case. Free Britney, free this. And everybody was like, wait, what? Your mom's the judge? People flocked to him to the point where he's just like, oh my God, I didn't expect my tweet to blow up like this. I'm just supporting. But anyways, yeah, it's my mom. Oh, come, don't forget to tune in for the last season of Insecure. And it's like, at the end of the day, you bullshit. You knew what you was doing when you revealed that. And I said, personally, if I was his mother, when I walk up in that house, I said, I'm going to dig my foot up in your ass. I said, reason why you just put me out there. I'm doing my job. If this doesn't work in her favor, her fan base is going to come after my ass. You get what's coming on? You get what's happening? So no matter what happens, which I agree with, a lot of people who are putting their 2 cents in it, you're so quick to brag that your mother is the new judge presiding over this. And she's doing a great job so far. She's not taking none of that bullshit that the last judge was throwing. She's actually so far working in favor of Britney so far. So what's going to happen when she works against Britney? Are you going to be so quick to say that's my mama? Because I promise you, if it doesn't work in Britney's favor, they're going to dig into that ass, rightfully so. So please be wise. If you got a famous relative or somebody who's very important, don't be putting them on blast like that. Because like I said, if I was your mama, the moment I walk up in that building, I'm going to put my foot up in your ass for doing that to me. You done lost your mind.
And talking about mothers, one thing I feel really terrible about, because during this whole situation, I didn't know. The whole time I was thinking, where's the mother? And then they explained, well, let me tell you what happened. The father pushed out the mother, and that makes a lot of sense why she's not present in a lot of things. And I'm just like, damn, man.
How you gonna push her mama out? She gave birth to Britney. How is the dad gonna push the mother out of the way? and it's a conservatorship, but he's worried about her well-being. So why would you like push her mother to the side and push her little sister to the side? And, you know, transitioning to the sister, Britney is even trying to see if Jamie, her younger sister, can take over her conservatorship. Jamie allegedly already said that she's interested in that because she thinks it's bullshit what's happening to her sister. But the dad is still fighting, like, no, she can't, you know, you're not, you know, responsible enough to oversee your sister. And it's just like, okay, it seems anything that goes Britney's way that she's trying to do to make this conservatorship more comfortable for her, you're against it. Every single damn thing.
Because it's money.
It's money. Yeah, it's all money hungry.
Yeah.
And then we got, of course, the famous YouTuber LGBT icon who retired from YouTube years ago, Chris Crocker.
A lot of people need to apologize to him. A lot of y'all need to apologize.
Leave Britney alone. She's a human being.
They were.
You're lucky she even performs for you bastards.
They were up in his ass. Like, it was crazy.
He was
like,
everywhere.
Hate he was getting.
Seth Green did some parodies. There were some TV shows that did a parody of that video. He went viral. He was on the Murray Show and everything, talking about it. Like, he never regretted that video. And
I know. Yeah, and then he's coming out with merch. Or no, he has merch of the.
Yeah, he came out with some shirts that said Chris was right, and I checked it out. I think it's like $15 to $20. I would so buy that shirt, dead ass, because he was right from the jump. But do you remember what Britney's response to that was?
No, I actually.
Okay. So allegedly when, you know, that whole leave Britney alone thing, Britney was still going through it. This was after she shaved her head, her kids got taken away, and everybody was just like, there's this viral video of this gay guy who's like, leave Britney alone, what do you think about it? And she basically allegedly said, like, I really don't care about him. Like, he's a freak with bad skin. So, like, that's the gist of what she said, like, he's a freak with bad skin or something like that. And she basically was just like, whatever. They asked about that on the Murray Show, and people can look this up, you know, just put Chris Crocker Murray Show. I think that was like 2008 that episode came out, or late 2007. And they said, how do you feel about her response? And he basically said something along the lines of, Britney's going through it, like, I'm a Britney fan, I never took that personal. So, you know, I hope she gets better. I hope she's good. And, you know, that just shows the faithful fan. What I do find sad, because I used to follow Chris Crocker on Twitter. He no longer has a Twitter. I think he's just now more active on Facebook. He did mention how he finds it, you know, a little bit sad that Britney was cool with Perez Hilton after everything Perez Hilton did to her, but she hasn't taken the initiative to be like, hey, let me find that guy that said, you know, leave Britney alone, and let me thank him or anything. Till this day, he's never really met her after the fact. He's still, you know, a Britney fan, but I just find, you know, that's something I would hope for in the future, where Britney Spears will actually meet Chris Crocker, give him a hug, maybe, you know, even buy a shirt from him, because he was at the forefront. He, like, till this day, some people still make fun of that video. It's a classic YouTube video. I think that year it won like video of the year. Like, you know, every year there's like a viral video. I think for that year it had won that. So, you know, it's crazy what people say about others on the internet. I don't know if you remember that scene where she was doing an interview, I think, with Diane Sawyer, and Diane Sawyer asks, like, how do you feel when people call you stuff like a slut, or they say you're doing this for attention? And she's like, I'm the nicest person ever. Like, I'm a homebody and such. And apparently former Maryland Governor Ehrlich's wife had even made a statement saying that, oh, I hate Britney Spears. My daughters listen to her. For some reason, I would shoot her if I could. and they asked her, how do you feel? You don't remember that
What?
scene?
No, I
Yes, in
don't
the
remember that
documentary.
at
We can
all.
rewatch that. It's in the documentary where she
Okay,
said that.
I do. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
remember
you
that part.
probably don't remember that scene. It's
Yeah.
definitely in there where former Maryland Governor Ehrlich's wife had made a statement about Britney because they were saying Britney was too promiscuous and she was sexualizing and
Oh, is
stuff.
that
And
when she did that magazine?
yeah, because
Yeah.
every white girl and they mom, especially the southern girls, they looked up to Britney Spears, because that was a reflection of them. So it's understandable, kind of like how we look up to Beyonce or me, any other, certain people. So, it's who you can relate to. And, that rubs some parents the wrong way. That's why they were putting this smear campaign like, don't listen to Britney. I don't like my daughter to listen to Britney. I don't want her to seem promiscuous, kind of like the stupid ass, comparison that rap music makes you violent and encourage you to treat women like shit. That's basically what was happening to Britney. And Governor Ehrlich's wife said that I can't stand Britney. My daughter's like her. I don't want my daughters listening to her. If I could, I'd shoot her. And it's like, wait, what? It was disrespectful, number one, for Diane Sawyer to even read that to Britney Spears and be like, okay, now that you hear this, how do you feel? I would be crying too. Right. I'm like, Diane Sawyer, you gonna ask her, oh, somebody said they're gonna shoot you in the head.
You know what?
And they're,
Now it makes
how
sense.
do you feel about that? Of course, I would be crying about that too.
No, I remember that. You know what? It's starting to hit me now because I remember people were trying to cancel her, and she's in retirement. You know what?
Right. You can't cancel somebody. Gen Z needs to settle down. Calm down. Y'all cancel
But now it's
culture
coming
is
back to
wild.
me. I wasn't sure. I thought people were talking about the way she treated her behind the scene. I didn't know it was specifically that. Now it's coming to me.
I do know when it comes to women, they get it so freaking bad. It's like there's no mercy. And Britney Spears' experience is an example of that. We are so quick as, fans, people reading text, going on Twitter, social media, just even paparazzi. We are so quick to destroy a famous woman. But there is a scene where Britney's in a bathtub and she's like, look at this little flower. Look what happens when I put it in the water. And she put the rosebud in and the rosebud flourished in the water. And she's like, see how pretty that is? I love pretty things. And you remember how I told you that almost made me want to cry? And you're just like, Catherine, what the you remember? You're like, why
Oh, I was just confused. Yeah.
Yeah, you were
because
confused.
I didn't put any thought into that video. I thought she was just sharing something she wanted to share with the fans.
She did. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah,
but I can relate
it into like a deep type thing,
because I got into it. The reason why I got into that scene so deep is because I've had so many of those moments, and then you get those weird looks like, what the f- is she crazy? Like, I could be like, oh, I love ice cream. Like, if I could, I'd just walk out in rain. I mean, sorry, I'd walk out in the sun and just eat ice cream and sit on the grass and just play and look at the sun. And people like, what are you talking about? And I'm just like, I just want to talk about a beautiful moment. Oh, that's weird. And then you just get shut down. So what do you want to do? You just want to be alone, just imagine stuff like her sitting in that pool with the thing. It was so relatable because I've done something like that. I could be in the shower, sitting down like a freaking music video week of shit and just feel like, I just want to be at the beach right now, or I just want to be there and just have water come on me. It's the water of the rain, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's just that emotional connection to that, which got me like, oh my gosh, I can totally relate to Britney. And here you are wanting to get out of this mood, but you can't because you have no decision on your life. I said, I have the choice to go get help. I have the choice to be able to walk outside my door and talk to somebody. I have all these choices. Britney doesn't. Like I said, we got to research stuff before we get a final opinion. And it took me listening to Solomon Ray's podcast, watching that documentary, reading up on the internet, finding these diehard Britney Stan accounts that were talking about it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. You remember I joked? I said, it makes me want to fly out to California and protest myself and be like, free Britney, because this is ridiculous. And her mom has even gone to some of those protests herself, standing there and thanking those fans. And that's how you know that she's got a loyal fan base, that every single day she's got about more than 30 people outside. Some people could be like, oh, that's not a lot for Britney. That's a lot of people that are taking their time to walk over to Britney, to that building, and sit out there for hours and say, no matter what's going on, Britney, we got you as a fan base. Reason why? Because when we were down, your music saved us, your music inspired us to do all this stuff. So we want to have your back. And that is a loyal ass fan base. Y'all are beautiful. Like for real. Because it makes me feel, bad. I'm not a stan, I'm a fan. I'm not gonna act as if Britney. No. I know Britney, but I don't know Britney. I don't even know her birthday. I don't know her horoscope. I don't know none of that stuff. So, once again, Britney, if you're listening, we love you. We hope you get better. We hope you are able to get out of your conservatorship. If you can't, we would hope that somebody that you trust that won't take advantage of you would be the sole person on that, So closing on a good note, the judge, Penny, did make a decision that there is a possibility that, Jamie Spears, who's Britney Spears' dad, could either be suspended from a position or maybe even removed permanently. And like we did say earlier, if that's possible, like that's gonna be a monumental moment for Britney Spears and for law in general, because they said she would be technically probably the first, allegedly. So we're here for you, Britney.
And then they were saying that Britney's next court case, or like her hearing, is going to be
March
17 and April 27th.
Yes. So, April, spring, people tend to be, in better moods during spring. So we'll see. Free Britney, she ain't do shit. Free my girl Britney. Loving you, all y'all out there, like, free my girl Britney, she ain't do nothing. Next up, our gossip segment called Let's Talk About It, where of course we, look at some gossip on the news or just like in celebrity entertainment and we talk about it. So, Coming to America, that came out on Amazon Prime. It came out on March 5th. Yasmin and I watched it together the day before yesterday.
Oh, that's my movie right now.
It was great. The African indie was screaming. I love that movie so much. It was so nostalgic.
I felt bad though because I didn't get a lot of the references because it's been years since I watched the first movie. But I didn't even watch the movie like that. You know what I'm saying?
You remember every 2 to 3 minutes I was screaming because I recognized everybody except that one dude. I was like, what is this?
Didn't I tell you who was it? You recognize all the black folks except for that one white guy.
Yas was like, it's so and so. I'm like, who? The guy that's
from SNL.
I'm like, oh, he's on SNL, and he was like, yeah. I'm like, that's this person. Do you know who that is?
Of course, I would.
Like I said, it was, if you've seen the first movie, because Coming to America is my favorite Eddie Murphy movie. So if you've seen the first movie and you laughed and enjoyed it, I do like the second movie. I think it was done justice. That's my opinion. I enjoyed it. And for those who want to get sensitive, because apparently some people are trying to make Coming to America political. I don't understand how Coming to America.
You talking about the reviews?
Yeah, I'm just so confused. Y'all want to make politics out of everything. But anyways, leave that movie alone. It's funny. And just know it's a fictional version of Africans in Africa. It's just jokes. Africa's not like that. Africans are not that naive. It's just jokes, okay? So me as an African, I thought it was hilarious. And if you've seen the first movie and you're offended by the second movie, I don't know what to tell you because something ain't going on. And if you're watching the second movie offended without seeing the first movie, you're just ignorant to me personally. So that's Cat's review. Yeah. And transitioning to another gossip topic, let's talk about Zoe Saldana. Last season.
Here we go again.
I don't remember what episode it was, but we talked about her on the gossip section. And for those who remember it, I did say that I like Zoe Saldana, but her choices lately are not wise, and I would hope she gets better. But it seems in the years since I've said this, we're back to the BS again. But I want to be careful with how I say this because I am not a part of this community. So I do want to, I want to just be a little bit more sensitive to how I go about this. Zoe Saldana, apparently a few days ago, it was Dominican Independence Day. And there was a IG account, which I apologize, I don't remember. I think it was called Somos. If I get it wrong, I apologize. And yes, they were addressing what was, the history of independence from Dominican Republic. And they were talking about the relationship between the Dominicans and Haiti and how, Afro-Latino, how Afro-Latinos are there, how they're getting treated, and the relationship between Haiti. And they're basically saying that, let's highlight and talk about this while we talk about our independence and let's get better. And Zoe Saldana's All Lives Matter looking ass basically try to embarrass them. She took the screenshots of it and then she went on her own IG talking about, oh, it's Dominican Republic Day. How dare you how dare you basically say what you said? All Dominicans are important. What you need to do is please apologize to, Dominicans in general for even making this a statement and even putting this narrative out there. Once again, these were not her exact words, but that was the gist of what she said. And all the Afro-Latinos came out of the woodwork out of nowhere, like Bobby Shmurda was coming out of prison just like last week, and they dug into that ass. What's a little bit frightening is that it was so bad, she even got death threats for what she said. Yeah, Yasmin, she got death threats for that too.
You know what she reminded me of? Do you remember the whole thing with Vanessa Hudgens during the pandemic?
Yeah.
It was just thoughtless stuff. You should have kept it in your head.
Yeah, she's free to talk what she wants, but I agree. You should have kept that to yourself. No, but I mean, she can talk about it. She's Dominican. I'm not Dominican. So, I can only look at this from an outside perspective. But the Afro-Dominicans basically dug into her ass. They were just like, Zoe Saldana, you fake, you fake. Right. You always on that BS. Then somebody on the internet said that Zoe Saldana is the Dominican Stacey Dash, which is one of the most disrespectful things I've ever seen somebody say about, somebody. But the funny thing about it is Stacey Dash is half Black and half Mexican. So she's Afro-Latina too. I just found it hilarious, I think, of the comparison. And then the interesting thing about it is the Black community, my community, we had something to say too. And I have to agree with the Black community because Afro-Latinos dug into that ass. And then the Black community said, no. When you're done, we need to take her ass on next. And this is the reason, she apologized for what she said, because she expected to look cute and they said, no, bitch, no. And the Somos account, they even said that, hey, this is an educational experience. Please don't send any attacks to Zoe Saldana. That was not the goal. It's to bring awareness. So instead of trying to attack her and say all these horrible things, why don't you educate her and have the conversation? Which I think is, a nice response.
It's the same. Yeah,
a lot because you got Afro-Dominicans looking at her a type of way, and you got Black community looking at her a type of way. That's my people. Reason why, we talked about it last season, how Zoe Saldana had apologized after doing that free of a Nina Simone movie where she was wearing blackface, had prosthetic nose. She had no damn business doing that movie at all. Even the late Nina Simone's estate basically told her, you were dead ass wrong to do that movie. You should have never even done that movie. They even told her, don't do that movie. And she kept insisting. So you didn't even follow the family's wishes and you still did that movie, which was disrespectful as shit. And then on top of that, which I agree, you had the nerve, I think it was Nina Simone's birthday or either the day she died. And once again, I talked about this last podcast, where she said something very inspirational about Nina Simone, and whoever owned Nina Simone's Twitter, the official one, they basically tweeted Zoe Saldana and they said, keep Nina's name out your mouth forever. And the Black community was just like, damn, Nina Simone came out the grave to check her. That's how you got her fucked up. So, but anyways, we have a problem because Zoe Saldana, who is half Puerto Rican,
Right.
Black Puerto Rican, and Dominican, Black Dominican, who is a Black Afro-Latina, started her career doing Black African-American movies. She was playing the chick that went to the HBCUs. If y'all don't see Drumline, she was playing the token Black chick in oh my goodness, what's that movie called? Where she was the dancer, Center Stage. Yeah, she played the token Black chick on Center Stage.
Wasn't she on Crossroads?
Yep, she was the token Black girl on Crossroads.
That's
basically,
what I was thinking, yeah.
yeah. Like she literally started her career making straight up Black films as African Americans. She is Afro-Latina. I do believe she was born here too. So if she wants to identify as Black or African American or however, that's her business. You literally started making movies in my community, and we've been supporting that shit since day one.
Yes, yes.
The Nina Simone
Especially when she came out with Avatar.
Especially when she came out with Avatar, we were right behind her. But my people's on this side, it's just like, it seems like we all agree we ain't playing that shit either with you. Because if she's doing this crap to y'all, she threw us under the bus. Now we're all looking at her funny together. You got a lot of Black people looking at her Black ass funny. And it's sad because she is such an amazing actress. She is killing the game. She is doing all that, but you are being so problematic. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I did say last season, I would hope this would, be the end of it, but it seems like she really wants to continue being ignorant. So only time can tell. But if she were to get in trouble in like 6 months or something stupid, which I know it's going to be similar to a situation like this, I'm calling it now, I ain't even surprised. So I'm going to end on that note and be like, Zoe, I love you. Please stop. Please stop being ignorant. Please stop. But it is what it is.
Yeah. The last cheese man I want to talk about over here is the buffoonery that Adam Levine is. Yo. So apparently he made he had an interview with Apple Music, and apparently this man was so conceited enough to say, and this is what was quoted. Adam says, "It's funny, when the first Maroon 5 album came out, there were still other bands. I feel like there aren't any bands anymore, End quotation mark. I said, what did you just say, sir?
You tried it.
He really did. Wait. But this is what he said. He continued that statement by saying, that's the thing that makes me kind of sad. There's no bands anymore, and I feel like they're a dying breed, end quote. I said, Adam, no, you didn't. I literally went to Twitter, immediately.
Paramore is still a band. Panic at the Disco, even though there's only the original members there, he's still in a band with other, bye.
And first off, maybe he's jealous because a lot of us, including myself, we are now into J-rock. We have K-pop and Korean rock music, and then we have Latino rock. The thing is, we're now blossoming into having flavors in our lives, and I don't know if he's just jealous or something.
It's fair.
I was just like, what made him think just because you're not a band anymore doesn't mean, because as far as I know, is he even making music with his band?
To be honest, Adam Levine is the Beyonce of the group, except that, no, let me just keep that comment there. He's the Beyonce of the group, and it's ridiculous. Let's be real here, people. Unless you're a diehard Maroon 5 stan, name a second member of Maroon 5. No, do it. Do it for me right now. Do it for me. You can't do it. Unless you're a stan, you can't do it.
I'm going to Google it. I'm not,
You see, we gotta Google. I think, isn't it 5 members if you include Adam Levine out here with his Nickleback ass?
Yeah, so you have, I don't even know.
Your tweet was funny. What did you write on Twitter, Yasmin?
Oh, what did I say on Twitter? On my personal Twitter or on?
Yeah, you said something about Nickleback.
Oh, if you go into our Twitter, I was like, Adam Levine is like the new Nickleback, except I have more respect for them. Yes, 2021. And then I end up, my favorite band of all time for now, like, because I just discovered them a while ago. It's just, I'm now getting super hip to their song. They're called the Oral Cigarettes. Check them out. They're a J-rock group, and I am super obsessed. So I put their GIF under that because I was just like, anyway, stand J-rock and Latino rock. Okay, bye.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sit down, talking about, oh, they're not fans anymore.
Yeah.
That's like that douchebag that goes, I feel like nobody gets me. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that's basically what he's that guy. I feel like nobody gets me. That I'm just the only one that's like, you know, expressive and, you know, just doing the damn thing. Like, can you relate? Because it's like, there's no good people out there anymore. And it's just like, if you don't sit your arrogant ass down.
You know, somebody on Twitter said, I'm convinced that Adam Levine just listens to his own music and nothing else.
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised.
And then, of course,
he can get it though. I'm not gonna lie. He can get it though.
But it's so funny how everybody's just clowning him right now. That's so funny. You know, a lot of the fans are like, oh, I'm so heartbroken. But I was just like, guys. Somebody said, what are we, Adam Levine? Cats? Yo. Yeah, if you go over to Twitter right now, like everybody's just clowning him. Now this article came out like what? I think
it's been 3 days since that happened.
Yeah, it was like
about 3 days. At least from today as we're recording this, it's been about 3 days since he
when
said
this
that
gets
nonsense.
Released, it's been a week. Yeah, so when this gets released. So, but yeah, I just wanted to add my 2 cents because I'm sorry, like my ass is over there and has always been jamming to J-rock, Latino rock. Like, I haven't heard a Maroon 5 song in a hot minute. Like, the only songs I play from them is from their old albums. So,
yeah,
criticize himself. I think he needs to criticize his own work.
To be honest, I only think Black people messed with the 3rd album. Like, that's it. The 3rd album is what all got us hip to him, and then we dipped out. But I can't speak for the Black community. I can only speak for myself. But legit. And now it's time for Damn, bruh, That's Wild, where I find a crazy, incredible story from around the world that actually happened. Are you ready, Yasmin?
Yep, ready, Eddie.
And just a reminder to everybody listening, Yasmin never knows the story, so her reaction is genuine as she hears the story for the first time. So this article is from a website called mtonews.com. I will send it to you because I needed to find an article on this. I saw this news on Facebook, but you know, there are a lot of fake stories out there. So I had to cross-check to make sure this was accurate, and it is. And the story is called Married Officer Suspended After Side Chick Blasts Him on Facebook. Yep. So there's a guy, and he's African-American, and his name is Officer Jarrell Peoples. Yeah, he seems like a people person, you know, definitely, since he out here, you know, doing crazy mess, cheating. Yep, so he's a married police officer, and he's from Clarksville, Tennessee. And it seems like he's being investigated right now because a few days ago, this happened about maybe 2 weeks ago, it's been since this incident happened. He took a picture with, you know, his police department, and it was a picture of his wife and family. And be in mind, he has about, I think, 2 or 3 kids with his wife, and he's been married to her for about 12 years, okay? While he's being a police officer, he getting down with a side chick. And the side chick alleges that she had no idea about this dude having a wife at all. She didn't know until, like a dumbass, I guess he was Facebook friends with her. Like, how you gonna cheat on somebody and then add them on Facebook knowing that all your business is gonna be out there? Like, please be wiser with your dumb decisions. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, she went on Facebook. She saw a picture of him being congratulated with an award from the police department there. And by the way, this woman's name is Lauren Bell. She's so upset. She posts a picture of a sonogram because she's pregnant, Yasmin. And she goes, "Congratulations, Officer Jarrell. Officer Joel Peoples, for getting me pregnant even though he is married. He's been married for 12 long years. Congrats to the new stepmommy, Britney Peoples. That's his wife. Hope you're ready for this long time journey, boo-boo. Can't wait to let the whole Clarksville Police Department know that you've been cheating on your wife for 6 months now. And such a wonderful officer, protecting and serving the streets of Clarksville by sleeping with me while on duty. Yep.
Oh my
God. The post went viral, girl. The post went viral. And let me tell you what happened after it went viral. People all had, their 2 cents, and they're just like, no, that can't be real. This is a prank. And she said, no, this is not real. She said, yep, this is 100% real. She posts this next. And Yasmin, this is crazy that she said this. She goes, just a disclaimer, I didn't know this N-word was married until I found out I was pregnant. Once again, Yasmin, I'm going to read what she said. Her name is Lauren Bell, and she's Caucasian. Just a disclaimer, I did not know this N-word was married till I found out I was pregnant. The whole time he was telling me he wanted a family, blah, blah, blah. Then as soon as I found out, he said that he wasn't happy and that he was planning on leaving her. This dude ain't shit. That's why I'm snapping. So clearly homegirl's from the hood. At the end of the day, that's the end of the story. Yeah, she don't care. She said at the end of the day, he played me. I'm still having this baby. Yeah, I embarrassed you. Pay up. And you got some people saying, he's the father of your soon-to-be child. Why would you put him on blast like that? Now he ain't even gonna have a child. How is he gonna support you? How is he Right!
It's called finding a new job.
But, with that scandal, normally a police department shouldn't hire him, but, they'll hire you. I mean, how many police officers have killed people and they get a job 2 months later, slap on the wrist. So this is probably going to be one of those slap on the wrists. I really think he'll be fine. Maybe in 6 months time, he'll go to another police station and they'll hire him and they'll be like, you can forget all this.
Probably be on probation or something like that.
Yeah, if I was
probably do something like that.
God knows what the wife is going through. All I know is that if it was me, I'd probably be running some divorce papers. Otherwise, you're going to be walking around without your, wands.
Fill a basket. But she took that man's belongings and set that.
Yes,
let me stop. That's like arson. Let me not promote that.
N-word. Because I don't want, because of course I didn't want to read it, read the real word, but she said N-word. You got me all the way effed up. I don't even care that I'm not black, but I need to tell you, you got me effed up. So clearly, Officer Peoples, don't cheat on your wife with a side chick, especially if she's crazy. But for all we know, maybe you liked her for that alone, but now that don't backfired on you. So, up to interpretation, however you guys want to do this, but damn, that's wild. It went viral. I saw the viral post on Facebook, but I was like, I need to double check the story to make sure this is true, because people be making up stories, but this is true. And I'm like, that's crazy.
And you got the sources.
Yep, I got the tea.
Oh man.
So, we're gonna end off with our artist of the week. And can I say that I'm excited, because I know I say every episode I'm excited to play all our artists' music, but this song is really hot. I've listened to it a few times, got me shaking. So I hope as soon as you listen to it, y'all be ready to shake me like nasty, 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 nasty. And reason why I say nasty, nasty is because the song's by Chrissy P and the song is called Nasty and it's a bop. So Chrissy P, thank you so much for supporting our podcast. We love you so much. Your song is so hot. We hope to play your music in the future. Now let's turn that on and pop it.
All right. See you guys in the next one. Bye.